His red hair bristled. His eyes blazed fire. Everywhere around him he glared and glowed. Everywhere around him he groped and grasped. Nothing. Mjolnir, the thunder, the sacred hammer of the gods, was gone. Thunder god growled. Loki, hearken here, listen well. Unmarked by men in Midgard, unnoticed by the gods in Asgard, someone has stolen Mjolnir, the Thunderer, the hammer of the gods. Mjolnir is gone. The Thunder god howled and roared like a wild sound echoing over the snowy mountains. And little Loki shriveled and shrank and covered his ears. Death and terror to the thief, roared Thor. Death and terror. Come, said Loki. This is a matter for wily wit and clever craft, not wild words and frenzied force. Therefore, leave the matter to me. Loki scratched his chin. A spark flew to his eye. I have it, great Thor. We will ask the lovely Freya for her wondrous cloak, her cloak of falcon plumes. And so, the Thunder God and Loki sped through the halls of Asgard and came rudely unannounced before Freya. Freya, the beautiful goddess of spring. Freya of the yellow hair. Freya of the golden hair. And the golden yellow hair. Hair the colour of wild daffodils after snow. Eyes blue as skies that hold the promise of summer. Freya, whispered Loki, wheedling. Freya, your cousin Thor is troubled. His hammer stolen. We crave a boon. Your cloak of magic plumes, so that we can seek the thief, so that we can find the hammer. Death and terror to the thief, roared Thor, and howled like a pack of hungry wolves. Death and terror. Freya's ears were delicate. Were it frozen, she thought, were it made, she thought, of the sunbeams themselves, woven of the finest silver, strands of gold, they could have it, so long as it took the squealy Loki and the thunderous Thor out of her ears. Take it, she said, and go. May it give you the speed of the wind. Take it and go. And so they did. String and stretch as Thor might, he could not squeeze into the cloak. And so Loki donned the magic cloak, and from the halls of Asgard flew the feathers, whistling, rustling, swishing in the wind. Off from the halls of Jotunheim, off from the halls of Asgard he flew. Jotunheim, the land of the giants, a land of perpetual snow and mighty mountains. The rivers were of ice. And there, on a desolate peak, sat Thrym, Lord of the Giants. He was smoothing the manes of the mighty mares he loved, braiding collars of gold for his huge hunting hounds. And at his feet played an elephant, a puppy big as an elephant. How fare the gods, little Loki? How fare the elves? Ill fare the gods, ill fare the elves. Have you stolen Mjolnir, the sacred hammer of Thor? Ah, laughed Thrym. I have stolen and hidden the hammer of Thor 8 miles deep underneath the earth, where no god shall have it until I have the lovely Freya for my bride. And so, at once, Loki once more flew, feathers whistling, rustling, swishing in the wind, up from the mountains of Jotunheim, the land of perpetual snow and ice. He flew on until he landed directly in the halls of Asgard, the halls of the god, before the feet of Thor, and danced from toe to toe. Loki, do you come with mischief or with news? Stop dancing, you fool. With no mischief, not with news. Thor, Thrym has stolen your magic hammer and hidden it 8 miles deep underneath the earth, where no god shall have it until he has Freya for his bride. Aha, sighed Thor. Then all is simple. We will tell Freya to prepare for her wedding. And so, once more, the two sped uninvited into the presence of Freya, goddess of spring. Prepare, Freya, said blustered Thor. Prepare to be a bride, don bridal veil and wedding gown, to journey now to Jotunheim to be the bride of Thrym. It is the price to bring back my hammer. The bargain is my hammer for you as a god. Freya's eyes were ice, blue ice. Her nostrils closed. The walls of Asgard shivered and shook. The jeweled necklace shattered, and down the sky fell jewels, so that men below gazing thought they were falling stars. Ice, her voice, ice, her eyes. I will be no whore in the eyes of the gods, not for Thor, not for his hammer, not for the entire halls of Asgard. Go, she said, go. And so even Thor scampered from her presence. And the matter had to be taken to the council of the gods in the great halls of Asgard. And there rose Heimdall, most ancient and wisest of the gods, he who could see with an inward eye. And thus he spoke. Thor must put on a nice, neat cap to hide his tousled locks. He must put on a bridal veil to conceal his bloodshot eye, and jewels about his neck. The giggles of the god began to grow and grow until it became like a whistling wind in the Orkney. And then he must put round his waist a dainty bunch of bridal keys, and to hide his hairy legs, he must wear a long wedding dress. Like rumbling thunder, The laughter of the gods grew until it became as a howling tempest. Thor, in woman's shape, never, never till the halls of Asgard crumble into dust. At last, Loki spoke, and into dust will Asgard crumble, destroyed and broken by the gods with the hammer of Thor, with Mjolnir, unless by this strategy the hammer is redeemed, the gods destroyed, and Thrym will be himself again. Thor humphed and rumphed and groaned and moaned, while Freya's maid put on his head a nice and frilly cap to hide his locks, and sealed his bloodshot eye with a bridal veil, jewels around his neck, a dainty bunch of keys around his waist, and on his legs a long and elegant dress. A lovely bride, said Freya. Thor could not speak. And I will be the bridesmaid, said mischievous Loki. Great goats were gathered from the pasture to pull the bridal chariot to Jotunheim. Eagerly they scorched the ground and ran pulling the great chariot with Thunder Bride and bridesmaid of sparks and fire towards the mountains of the giants. From afar, Thrym saw them come, the chariot pulled by the great goats, and his giant heart grew soft with anticipation and with love. Stand, gods, to welcome them. Strew the tables with straw. Arise to greet our godly guests. Great tables are spread. I have cattle in plenty with horns of gold. I have jewels and riches to delight my eyes and for their sight to behold. All I have but the beautiful Freya, of the yellow hair, to be my bride. Thrym stood back aghast. I never till this day have seen a bride with appetite so keen. Oh, said Loki, leaping forward as a plinth makes spark. She has not eaten for 8 long days, so great her yearning for this her wedding day. Ah, said Thrym. He was so touched that he lifted the veil to kiss his bride. Back he sprang, as if bitten by an adder. Right to the back of the hall he sprang. It seemed as if Freya's eyes, they are on fire. Once more, Loki, full of flattery, sprang forward and said, she has not slept for 8 long nights, so great her longing for this wedding day. So touched was the luckless giant that he said, bring Mjolnir, the hammer of Thor, and lay it on the maiden's lap. It is a fitting wedding present for my bride. And that's the truth, muttered Thor. What says my darling? Oh, a touch of indigestion, said Loki. And then at once he pulled aside the veil, seized the hammer, waved it in the air, and with one fell stroke smote down Thrym, and then one by one each giant he smote to the ground. Now he was ready to return to Asgard Now he was ready to return to the hall of the gods. Now Thor was himself once more.